If you saw my coverage the other day on the Unihertz Jelly 2E, this itty bitty teeny tiny phone, perhaps you saw where I mentioned that I was hopeful that I could continue looking at some of Unihertz devices, in particular some of their keyboard laden devices. And today, that is what we are going to begin doing, because I have here in my possession the Unihertz Titan Slim, and we're going to unbox this thing, take a quick look at it, and I'm going to give you my first impressions of this device. Now, you probably also know that I owned and loved the BlackBerry devices that ran Android. This is the original Key One. I just think it's a phenomenal looking device, and I absolutely adored this device. So we're going to also kind of do some initial comparisons just in terms of the physical layout of these two devices. Don't expect anything super in-depth, because this is, like I said, just going to be an unboxing and a first impression. Full review will be coming later. So that being said, let's jump into that unboxing. So this is a pretty simple unboxing experience. Not a lot going on this box. It simply says Unihertz Titan Slim, Titan Slim. On the back side here, we have a little bit of information about the device itself. We are running an octa-core CPU, which is 2 gigahertz. I think it actually boosts to 2.1. I may be wrong about that, but I think that's correct. It's a Helio P70 if memory serves. 6 gigabytes RAM, 256 storage, which is, not bad as far as the storage goes. RAM could be a little bit better, but 6 gigs is kind of the minimum where I'd want to be, and it gets there, so that's all right. 4.2-inch display. It says 48 megapixel autofocus camera, then 8 megapixel fixed focus for the selfie camera. Android 11 LTE, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and NFC. So that's pretty much all we got as far as that stuff goes. Let's actually unbox the thing now and get a look at the hardware. Designed by Unihertz. We have this on top, which is likely to be, I believe, probably a SIM tool in there. Yep, SIM tools in there, some paperwork. There is, I believe that is a screen protector that they've included in here as well. And I think there's already one pre-installed. So I think they're giving you an extra screen protector there. Here is the device itself, and I have actually messed with it just a little bit, kind of getting some things set up so I can make this video a little bit quicker. So I'm having to pause and then set things up. But this is the Unihertz Titan Slim. Let's set it down for just a moment, and I'll show you what else is in the box, and then we'll come back to that. So underneath this page of or piece of paper here, we have a charging brick. We also have a USB-C cable, as well as they have packed in, because they have removed a headphone jack, they did at least give us a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter. So they did at least kind of make up for the fact that they got rid of the headphone jack. So a little bit of a bummer, but I think they still did right by us by at least giving us that to kind of make up for it a little bit. So probably the first thing I noticed when I took this thing out of the box was that it was already wearing this really thin case. And it's kind of textured on the back, as you can see, but I don't love the texture. It kind of gives me like sensory nightmare issues. It's kind of horrible. I also noticed with the case on that the power button is like way too sensitive. You can't actually feel it click. You basically have to put down like almost no pressure. So we're going to remove the case here, and that'll also kind of help you get a better look at the device anyways. The back has this sort of, can I show you this? Yeah, there you go. It kind of has this like bluish look to it, and it's kind of got some like banding on it. It's kind of an odd looking back, but it is plastic. It doesn't feel particularly premium, and it is definitely going to attract fingerprints. So that's what it looks like. The other thing I noticed is that it is incredibly thick. So comparing this to the BlackBerry Key One, which I almost just dropped, you can see here how much thicker the Titan Slim is. Slim is talking about this way, definitely not talking about that way, because Slim it is not. It is a chonker of a device. 4100 milliamp hour battery. I thought it was going to be much bigger than that based on just the thickness of this device. But yeah, here we are. So let's go around the device really quickly. Probably a microphone up top here. I believe that is our IR blaster, because yes, there is an IR blaster in this thing, which is pretty cool to see. On the side here, we have a power button and the volume rocker. Bottom side here, speaker, USB-C, probably another microphone. And then we have this little customizable hotkey, which we'll talk about very briefly here in a moment. Of course, though, the main attraction here is this physical keyboard. So if we get a closer look at this, you'll see some of the things that kind of already jump out to me as being, okay, there's some good things about it. So let's start there. the key presses, the key travel and the key presses are actually very good. They actuate nicely, they're clicky, and they do feel quite good. So typing on it seems to be a pretty decent experience, and it's a fairly close approximation to what BlackBerry had here. But if we compare it to the BlackBerry one, you can probably start to see what some of my problems are going to be. So with BlackBerry, you have your shift and symbol keys at the bottom, flanking a space button, which acted as your fingerprint sensor. On the Titan Slim, the fingerprint sensor is up top here in the middle of this group of utility keys, and the symbol, shift, and all these things are up there at the top. Now you also have a back and a multitasking button. So obviously you can navigate with gestures, but if you want to use these, you can. And when you're actually using the device, the fingerprint scanner can actually act as a home button if you want to use it like that. So there's some good stuff there, but I don't know how I feel about these buttons being up top and the fingerprint scanner being up at the top. Also, the space button is in the middle of your keyboard. It's splitting the V and the B key. So hopefully I can get used to that, but it is definitely a little bit odd. Keep in mind that, you know, BlackBerry probably has patents on their keyboard layouts that other companies therefore cannot use. So Unihertz is forced to do something a little bit different, and that is going to be, you know, possibly problematic. In terms of the actual software, you can see there that the fingerprint sensor unlocks pretty quickly, and this is our home screen. This is our stock launcher, and it is pretty basic. You have your Google feed over there to the left, and then you have your home screen here. Swipe up gets you into your app drawer, and it's a pretty simple experience, and it looks okay. Like I said earlier, this is a 4.2 inch screen. It is an LCD screen, and it looks okay. It's not particularly bright. It is a 720p screen, which is, you know, sub full HD, but, you know, it's not a large screen. So like I said, it looks okay. The brightness isn't incredible, but it should be good enough. They do have this entire section in the settings called Intelligent Assistance, which I'm not going to go into all of this, but this is kind of where their software magic is. You can actually customize your shortcut key in here, your shortcut keys on your keyboard itself. You can change things about the space bar key and to do different actions with it, like maybe you want to use back to desktop on your space bar. You can turn off or on scrolling with the keyboard itself. There's a lot of really good stuff there. There's also an LED for notifications, which is right there, so you can customize some of that stuff as well. So this is kind of, like I said, where their software magic is, and we'll dig into that a lot more in the full review, and I'll talk about some of that stuff here in just a moment. I will say that, you know, navigating through things has been, you know, relatively fluid for me. I haven't really had any issues with things, you know, not wanting to load very quickly. Everything seems to be generally all right. And then you have one of my favorite features that you can long press a key and have that set as a shortcut to launch particular applications. And that does work really, really well. It's something that I'm really enjoying having. And you can customize all these in your settings. And like I said, have it launch whatever app you want to run. YouTube can be tied to Y. Music can be tied to M. So it's a really nice quick way to launch whatever app you want. And you can also use it to launch conversations. So if you are talking to a specific person a lot, you can use that to launch that as well. So that is very, very cool. You can also use the keyboard to scroll in applications. That is one place where I think the keyboard is maybe not the best. And I can kind of explain this like this. If you look at this keyboard, you might be able to see here that the keys are slanted. They're almost kind of sharp feeling. So that's fine for typing. But when you're trying to scroll on them, they feel very rough. And that's not something that I love the feeling of. The BlackBerry keys were sort of rounded and they were soft feeling. So you didn't have that same sensation, which I think you can probably see there. I should also point out that when I say this thing is dual SIM, I mean there are 2 SIM slots. This thing is like super duper dual SIM. It is running Android 11, and you know, Unihertz track record of major software updates maybe isn't the greatest. So when is Android 12 coming? I'm not really sure that I have a good answer for that to give you guys. That's definitely something to consider as well if you want those features that might be in 12 to come along quickly. Not sure when that will happen, although they are sitting on August in terms of their security updates. So it is up to somewhat close up to date for something like this. It is November now, so a couple of months behind. Something else maybe to factor in. If you don't know, this thing retails for $329, which isn't like wildly expensive. I think you could see from my use there that it wasn't particularly slow, right? I was able to kind of jump from app to app, launching things with the shortcut keys relatively quickly. So it's not particularly slow. You're not going to be doing some like hardcore gaming on this thing. But in terms of moving between apps, I think it's going to be good enough. And for $329, I think that we have potentially a case to be made here. Now, I'm going to use the thing for a few days to see how I feel about it. And like I said, I'll come back with a full review after that. The first thing that I'm going to do right now, and I'll do this on camera, is I'm going to get rid of the screen protector that was pre-installed. They gave me one in the box, but there's also one that's pre-installed. And very similarly to the Unihertz Jelly, when swiping back on the side, that screen protector is sharp and it feels absolutely terrible. So we're going to peel this thing off, and I bet it's going to feel a lot better to use without that on there. Let's see if I am correct. Oh yeah, that's 10 times better. So if you can handle not having a screen protector on, it did not feel good. That was not a good feeling screen protector. Oh, I haven't mentioned the speakers yet. So let me give you a quick speaker test as well to show you something there. So let's open up YouTube Music by using my shortcut key, which is super, super handy. We'll put the volume at about half, and let's do my song of choice. And that is not very loud, so let's turn it up to full. I would say that the speakers are pretty not good. Let me give you a comparison. Actually, let's use the old BlackBerry. For context, like I said earlier, this is the BlackBerry Key 1, so we've turned the volume all the way up. And even though this device, that's a much older device, it does sound considerably better. So the speakers on the Titan Slim are definitely speakers that are going to leave a little bit to be desired. They don't sound great, but you have the ability to plug in some earbuds or to use Bluetooth, obviously, for that. So maybe that doesn't matter a ton to you. So yeah, there you go. Those are my first impressions of the Unihertz Titan Slim. Like I said, I'll use it for a few days, and I'll come back with a full review about how this thing actually functions. The biggest thing is going to be that keyboard, right? Like if I actually feel like I'm typing more accurately with that keyboard, I think that's going to be the selling feature. The shortcut keys are going to be really, really nice to have back as well. And, I think to put it very succinctly, because a lot of people, when they use a keyboard like this, they go, oh, I'm actually slower typing this way. And I'll push back on that a little bit. You will be slower at first, but once you get used to it, your speed will increase. But I will argue with you that you're probably correct that you could swipe type faster. But the question I have is, can you swipe type more accurately? Because I typically can't. When I remember using my old BlackBerry, yes, I was still typing slower than I was on a glass, on a touch screen like that. But on the touchscreen typing experience, I was really frequently having to delete stuff and then type stuff again, go back, pick the middle of a sentence, fix a word. And that just wasn't happening with a physical keyboard. So even though it's like the tortoise and the hare, right? I was racing out ahead, but then having to double back and fix things. So I was actually completing my stuff first with a physical keyboard. It wasn't faster, but it was more accurate, which ended up making it faster in a roundabout way. So if that is true with the Titan Slim, I think that combined with the price is something that some people are going to find attractive. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see that review coming very, very soon. I'll see you then, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.